By doing 2 consecutive months, you will better understand what really happens when we do bank reconciliation. Remember, we're using the same bank account, same company, and same QuickBooks file. We're imagining it's the same QuickBooks file, but 1 month later. You will notice the ending balance of January will be the beginning balance of February. It must be, or somebody changed something, and we will learn how to find and fix that problem in a later video. You will notice that the outstanding checks that you saw in the last video, the first month was January, will show up in February's statement. Usually, most outstanding checks from 1 month clear in the second month. You will also notice that interest and service charge are usually recorded into your account at about the same date each month. Make sure you use the same files that were on the web page of this video. The Excel file is the bank statement in the second consecutive month. The QuickBooks file is the QuickBooks file with all of the same transactions from January as you saw in the previous video, and January is already reconciled the way we did in the previous video. We then added February transactions, and February is waiting to be reconciled. See if you can do the bank reconciliation without the video and without the teacher. View the video answer step by step if the cleared balance does not equal 0. And here is the video answer. Before we open the reconciliation window, take a look at bank fees expense. It's still $35 from the first month's reconciliation. Take a look at interest income. That's still $87.90 from January's reconciliation. After we finish February's reconciliation, bank fees will increase by the amount of fees for February, and interest income will increase as well for the same reason. From the main menu, click Banking, Reconcile. Once again, in this first window, we simply copy the information from the bank statement to this window. 6 very simple pieces of information. In our example, we're lucky to be working with Excel. Notice the ending balance of January is the same as the beginning balance of February on our statement. And one thing to look at very carefully where it says beginning balance, make sure it's the same number. If not, you will be given specific techniques on how to fix that in the very next video after this one. Because this is Excel, we can simply scroll down and copy the ending balance into the QuickBooks window, or any compatible software that you can copy and paste from there until QuickBooks would allow you to do this. Okay, the cutoff date QuickBooks knows is February 28th because that's 30 days, or that's the end of February. In this case, we agree that the cutoff date is February 28th. The service charge we will mark off at the moment that we type it in to QuickBooks. Remember, it goes in as a positive number because QuickBooks already knows that it's being subtracted from the bank account. Notice the QuickBooks file remembers that we usually get charged the service charge on the 23rd. So it's right, we leave the date. The interest is also on the same date. The interest is $101.50. We can copy it and paste it right into here because Excel is compatible with QuickBooks. If your bank statement is not, then you would have to type it in. Notice the date of the interest is the same as it was last month, and therefore QuickBooks remembered it. A very important point is that the service charge goes into bank fees expense, and that will increase after we save this reconciliation. The interest earned also goes into interest income. This means that QuickBooks remembered the 2 accounts that we chose when we did the January reconciliation. This window is very simple. We have finished putting in all the data, so we will click Continue. Of course, don't forget to mark off the interest. I don't think I did that a minute ago. But now we have on the bank statement just only interest and service charge marked off because those are the only ones that we verified are in both the bank statement and the QuickBooks file. Now let's clear the deposits one by one. Okay, let's make the reconciliation window fit to our little screen here. Okay, notice the information in the bottom right that we learned about in the last video. Remember, when we finish, the ending balance should be equal to the cleared balance. When we finish, everything will be marked off the bank statement, and at the moment we mark off the last item from the bank statement, the difference should become 0. So, now let's clear the deposits. Okay, so let's scroll all the way up. Okay, deposit number 5 is $77.50 in both places. So let's mark it off. $770.50.34 actually. Deposit number 6 is $88.90.10 in both places. I happen to know that, so let's mark it off. Okay. Now, deposit number 7 is $11.206.10. Let's mark it off from the bank statement and mark it off here. Notice there are no outstanding deposits for February. Now let's clear the checks. We look at the check side. It begins with check number 6. Let's look carefully. Oh, check number 6 cleared this month on February 10th. So let's mark it off the bank statement. And then let's mark it off from the QuickBooks file. What else do we see? Oh, check number 15 is also cleared on the bank statement. Notice the checks do not clear in numeric order, the way we mentioned in the last video. Oops. So let's mark off check number 15. Very good. Let's see, what else can we mark off? Well, we don't see check number 16 anywhere in this statement. This statement is not that big. Okay, and if you look very carefully, you will see check number 16 did not clear the bank in February. Therefore, we will not touch check number 16. However, I happen to know that check number 17 is the same money amount in both places. I happen to know check number 18 and 19. If you look at them carefully, they are the same money amount, both here in the QuickBooks file as well as on the bank rec. Check number 20 and 21 are the same amounts. Just double check that they're the same amounts before you mark them off. Okay. Oh, let's make that blue. Okay. Check number 22 and 23 are also check number 22 and 23. If you double check it, you will see that they are the same money amounts. And if I'm going too quickly, you can pause the video to double check that they are in fact the same amounts in both places. Check number 24 is $685 in both places. Check number 25 is $111 in both places. Check number 26 is $2280.36 in both places. Now let's be very careful here. There's one check remaining to be marked off the bank statement in the amount of $904.77. And if you look at the bottom right here, you see the only difference is this $904.77. Check number 27 is that amount in both places. So at the moment I mark it off on the bank statement, when I do the same in the QuickBooks file, marking off the very last check, the difference becomes 0. These other checks will clear on the next month's bank statement. They are the outstanding checks for February. We will now click Reconcile Now, because congratulations, you have 0. Reconcile Now, and you have the option of seeing both the summary and the detail that will explain what happened in the February reconciliation. You can pause the video to browse your summary report. You can pause the video to browse your detailed report, but it's telling you the vital components, both in summary and in detail, of this month's bank reconciliation. Once again, on a real job, you would print both of these and staple them to the February bank statement before you file the February bank statement. The last thing we will take a look at is the trial balance. Notice now bank fees expense is up to $70 and interest income is up to $189.40. The bank fees recorded as a check because anything minus to the bank account is a check, and that increases the bank fees expense from January. Now we add February's. Same thing with interest income. Double click. We have January's income, interest income here, added to February's reconciliation and February's income there, and that's the result on the trial balance. Congratulations, you finished reconciling your second consecutive month.